This content is the creative work of Channels Without Borders, all rights reserved 2025. Visit channelswithoutborders.com. Feel free to share this with friends. More information and links are in the description.
How do I deal with challenging people in my life?
Good now. There is only one challenging person in your life. That, of course, is you. As long as you consider yourself to be a victim of the actions or behaviors of others, your life on planet Earth will be experienced as less than pleasant. Fortunately, victimhood is not the case. We have spoken about the term projection. There are worse things that you could do than to print up a dozen cards with the word projection on them and post them throughout your home, car, workplace, on every mirror, by the toilet, as a constant reminder that all you see in the world is your projection. No exceptions. The ego mind goes absolutely ballistic over this and will try incessantly to create exceptions. There are no exceptions. Cause and effect. You are the cause and the world is the effect, never the reverse. So, as they like to say in New Age circles, there are no challenges or problems. There are only opportunities. These challenges with other people, which are your own creation, are opportunities for you to free yourself from judgment and separation. Or you can go on pretending that it's all about other people and suffer. It's your call. We don't have a horse in this race. As a review, this is how projection works. Your ego mind, which thinks it knows everything, or at least can figure everything out, knows nothing and can't figure out anything. It believes you are this body, but you're not. It thinks you are separate from God in divinity, but you're not. If we present this in the form of a story, keeping in mind that no story is true, it might go something like this. The ego believes that it chose to separate from God. This is the tiny confusion from which all your problems stem. The ego is in error because it's not possible to separate from God. Anyway, on with the story. Ego mind creates this body and this universe as a way and a place to hide from God. Realizing it has made a bad choice, wanting to go back home, desiring God's forgiveness, but feeling that this attempt to kill God is both unforgivable and deserving of severe punishment, ego's in a tough spot. Let's list some other things that ego mind doesn't understand. First, you never left home. There is no separation. The body and the universe are what is not real. God does not and cannot judge. God is pure love. God does not and cannot punish. Meanwhile, in its imagined sinfulness, ego comes up with a plan. Put the blame on somebody else. Maybe God will notice that it is the other and not you who is guilty and deserving of judgment and punishment. Burn them, God, it's their fault and not mine. I'm innocent, you think. This is projection. Every time you judge another for anything, small or large, it's your guilt that you're projecting. It's all about you and not about them. In addition, you try to be a good person so that God will see that you are worthy to be brought back home. The only problem is that you cannot earn something that you already have. and the only one accusing you of sin is you. No number of good acts or projections will cleanse you of your self-imposed guilt. You cannot buy your way into heaven. You never left. It's only this guilt that holds you in your earthly hell. So, forgive yourself. End of story. Well, not quite. You go on through life projecting. Other people are wrong. Other countries are wrong. Other religions are wrong. You are right and you are good, but there is something inside you that doesn't buy the whole story, that it suspects that it's you who are truly guilty. Deep down is this fear, this dread of the inevitability of the coming retribution. Unconsciously, you draw loss, pain, failure, illness, and emotional turmoil into your life, always trying to pay this unpayable debt. This is where the healing can begin. Let go of the projection upon God. Let go at the same time of the projection that you have towards yourself. You are innocent. Nothing happened. You did not leave God. God is not upset. It's all much ado about nothing. You cannot hurt God, and God cannot hurt you. There is only love here. Now, let's return to the opportunity that you called a challenge. You have heard these words from me, perhaps, read similar words in A Course in Miracles, or heard them from some other teacher, but the bottom line is that you don't feel them. You feel yourself to be a victim to another's energy. You're sick and tired of everything, but don't know what to do with it all. This projection works in a very specific way. You don't project everything on everyone. You project wonderful things onto some people, seeing them as loving and good. When you find yourself with a specific judgment towards another, that is what you believe about yourself, but don't want to face. You fear being punished, so you go into denial and project. Ego mind jumps in and yells, "I'm not like that." In truth, you are not, but you believe that you are. Until you own this, until you accept that the judgment is about self and has nothing to do with the other, nothing will change. You will live in projection and victimhood. Your job, then, is to take ownership of the projections, to accept that the judgment is aimed toward the self. For example, if your projection is that another is not honest with you, ask how you are not honest with yourself. What untruths about self are you believing to be true? Anything short of recognizing your absolute innocence, your divinity, is part of the lie. You're absolutely loved by God, but are you telling yourself that you are unlovable? You're always provided for, but are you telling yourself that you're undeserving and needy? Forgiveness is not a matter of recognizing where you have been bad and then asking to be forgiven. It is a realization that you have not and could not err, so there's nothing to forgive. There's only the love of God. Let's look at a specific example so you might gain a clearer picture of how this whole process has worked and could work for you. A popular one for those of you who have children is being a victim to them. They never clean. They don't do their housework. They're not responsible. They don't listen to me. They don't follow my rules. They don't respect me as the adult. We could go on, and you could each add to the list from your own experiences. Let's just focus on one part of the litany. My daughter never cleans up after herself. I'm left with the choice of being in a constant fight or surrendering to grudgingly being my daughter's maid. The choice you make doesn't matter. What effects you feel come from what you carry around inside yourself. There is a judgment of her irresponsibility, causing you to make one of two equally undesirable choices. There's a good possibility that if you listen inside, there's a parent saying a similar thing about you. You were taught to be a good person, to clean up after yourself. Did that result in you feeling like a good person? Probably not. Did you learn to feel guilt when you didn't clean up? Probably. Did you resent being told what to do? Most likely. Now, as an adult, you act out of guilt and resentment when you must clean up. Instead of facing this inner anger and judgment, along comes this young whippersnapper on whom you can project all of this. The child may not be carrying the guilt of having a thought about what they should do unless you have been successful in drumming it into her. Maybe she's stronger than you, and your parents' games don't work with her. Instead of passing your guilt on to her, you could realize at each moment of each day you're carrying thoughts about what you should be doing to be a good person. What should you do? What does God want you to do? When you were small, your parents represented God for you. They taught you right and wrong, good and bad, providing punishments and rewards. That was your first church. You have the opportunity to notice that you have been forcing yourself to do what you don't want to do. Ego mind screams out, yeah, but if I don't do it, the house would be a total mess. Maybe. So what? Ego mind says there's probably a special circle in hell for bad housekeepers. Is that really true? Does God only take back home those with clean houses? What actually is going on here? What's really true? Recalling that God is unconditional love and acceptance, there are no rewards or punishments, no heaven or hell. You never left. It's only the ego mind that believes that what goes on here is of any consequence. So back to now. Do you clean or not clean? Perhaps you wait until you feel like doing it. Perhaps your standards of cleanliness go through a transition. Perhaps you start listening more to what the inner guidance and the body tell you instead of marching to the orders of the guilt-driven ego mind. Without a sense of compulsion, there may be a joy in the act of cleaning. Perhaps in the now, there's exhaustion, so go relax. Above all, thank your daughter for putting you in touch with your guilt and denial. Always thank your mirrors, at least silently. The root of all the fear, guilt, and blame is in the belief in separation. The truth is that there is oneness. You are one with the divine and with each other. What another is doing is what you are doing. It's all connected. In the perfection of what is happening right now, in each moment, everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The script, as we said in the last message, has already been written. If you accept what is without resistance, it opens you up to the truth of your divinity, to your oneness with the Creator and the creation. Can you begin to see the enormous value of seeing the actions of another as your projection? You're being handed the keys to the kingdom. All is within you, never outside of you. What a perfect gift your child, or whomever appears to be a challenge, is offering you with their every action. All of this requires no volition on anybody's part. Nobody needs to have any understanding of the part they are playing. They cannot help but to serve you. You only have choice on whether you wish to be served or bothered. It doesn't matter if the challenge in your life appears to be somebody who's irresponsible with money, has an addiction, is trying to control you, is abusive, ignores you, doesn't accept you for who you are, or Well, we could go on and on and on. It doesn't matter if this person plays a central part in your life or if you only meet them once. You have the choice to be a victim, seemingly forever, or to grasp the opportunity to let go of your imagined separation and see the gift that's being offered. As long as you hold this as being about the other, there's no way out. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't. But you are blessed and loved. This is your creation, and you're doing a perfect job. Accept it and live in this now. You deserve to experience the love and peace that is the truth of you. Good now.
This content is the creative work of Channels Without Borders. All rights reserved 2025. Visit channelswithoutborders.com. Feel free to share this with friends. More information and links are in the description.